Back with us on Power Breakfast, and as promised, we have our research team joining in with how the trade setup looks like and the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and also the FNO setup at the start of a new series. And the series came to an end on a negative note yesterday with the Nifty falling below the mark of 22,500, and it's interesting because it's down 2% in a week that it made a record high. Now that Monday's high of 23,110 almost seems distant memory now, almost down 600 points from those levels. But the index that has stood tall amidst all of this is the Nifty Bank, and that at one point yesterday even crossed 49,000 on an intraday basis, has outperformed the Nifty this week. If you look at the weekly performance, it's down only 0.5%, and if you can pull up the contributors on the upside yesterday, you would find only banking stocks there. You can see there HDFC, ICICI, Axis, SBI, so only banking stocks that ensured that the Nifty losses were kept in check. For the week, as I mentioned, the Nifty is down almost 2%, the Nifty Bank is down just close to 0.5%. But there were sectors that underperformed yesterday, and the high-flying metals sector was the one that led the losses, 3% lower there. The pharma index, IT, all of them underperforming. IT will be in focus today as well after the Salesforce guidance. Now the Nifty metal index, if you can pull that up as well, you see there 6.5% gains, 4% gains, and now it's down 4% for the week. So it has given up almost all the gains that it made last week. So the metals will be the one to watch out for. And lastly, some earnings reactions, the last bit of the earnings season, the stocks that came out yesterday with their numbers after market hours, Apollo, Muthoot, Bharat Dynamics, all of them will react to their results today. The US markets closed weak, but the start in Asia is positive, and the Gift Nifty is also indicating a positive start for our own markets, although the gains from the start of the show have come down slightly. But we'll watch out for market open today and see if those gains sustain. Now over to Sudarshan, who would list out the stocks that you need to watch out for in today's session. Sudarshan, good morning.
Good morning, Horma. So with today's list, it's the end of Q4 earnings season. So I'll start with Apollo Hospitals. Headline numbers were better than estimates. Revenue beats estimates by 14% and margin beats estimates by 30 bips. ARPOB, that is average revenue per occupied bed, was up 5% sequentially and 12% year-on-year. And Apollo Healthco, that is digital arm, its FY24 GMV was up 73% year-on-year, but it's slightly lower than company's guidance. Next is Muthoot Finance. Earnings were much better than estimates. Assets under management has increased 20% year-on-year and 7% sequentially. An increase in gold prices has helped gold AUM, that was up 18% year-on-year. NII has risen 15%. NIM was up 84 sequentially. Bharat Dynamics strong Q4 profit has risen 89% and EBITDA was up 73%. Margin has increased to 37% from 23%. Praj Industries EBITDA has come in 21% higher and margin was up 400 bips year on year. Welspun Corp, it was a weak Q4 and even guidance is muted. Q4 EBITDA has slipped 21%, margin was down 300 bips, and company expects FY25 revenue growth or revenue to be at the similar level that it reported in FY24. Suntech Realty, it was a mixed Q4. Headline numbers were healthy, but collections have dipped both sequentially and year on year. Core EBITDA has risen 8 times and margin expands to 46%, but collections were down 10% year-on-year and down 30% sequentially. JioFin, keep an eye on JioFinance. It has launched JioFinance app in beta version, and this app integrates digital banking, UPI transactions, bill settlements, and insurance advisory. Also, keep an eye on insurance companies. These companies, sources say these companies have approached GST Council seeking rate reduction, and these insurers seek GST of 12% instead of 18% on life insurance products. Lastly, keep an eye on Hero MotoCorp. Company has launched Splendor Plus XTEC 2.0. Starting price is 82,911. The reason I'm mentioning Hero MotoCorp because company is a market leader in entry bike segment.
Mixed feelings, I guess, when you say earnings season has come to an end. But Sudarshan, thanks a lot for that update. And lastly, Mangalam is joining in with cues from the FNO space. Mangalam, start of a new series. What's the setup looking like?
Start of a new series, and it's a Friday, so let's get musical. You know, you've heard the Beatles song Hey Jude. Let's, rephrase it to Hey June. Jude takes a sad song and makes it better. The Bulls would hope that, June takes the slightly volatile market and makes it better for the bulls as well. And June is known for big moves. I mean, 2020, we saw a near 800-point move on the Nifty. That was 8%. And mostly, we've seen June end up in gains itself. The last one also saw about 3.5% in terms of gains. And that is something that the bulls would hope, especially after the May series volatility. It was a long series. Yes, we ended about 80 points lower, but the range was close to around 1,300 points. And as a result of which, it marked the first negative series after 3 positive series. So that's, perhaps something which is par for the course. However, rollovers have been at 72%, while they're largely in line with what it has been in the last 4 months. The important part is that, the open interest overall is 1.37 crore shares on the Nifty. That's slightly heavy. But you also have to keep in mind that, the Nifty lot size in June series was revised from 50 to 25 itself. So to that extent, the number of contracts should be multiplied by 2 for you to be able to get a real picture of where the positioning is. And here's the crux of June series. At the start of June series, FII long exposure is just 13%. Remember, yesterday it was 5,400 long contracts, and now the FIIs are short by 2.98 lakh contracts. Even if you divide that by 2 because of the Nifty lot size revision, it's 1.5 lakh net short contracts, and that's among the highest that we've ever seen. So there is case for huge short covering, as we've seen in the past, if the news does not favor these shorts itself. So that's something we'll perhaps watch out for over the course of the next couple of weeks in June. But the next 1 week itself is important. That's where the triggers are. We have exit polls on June 1. Thereafter, the big general election results on June 4th. I think this itself fits at the course of the series. Then you have the RBI policy, of course, the advancement of the monsoons, and global cues will always be lurking. But June 1 to 4 will be the key cue to watch out for what happens to these shorts of the FIIs.
Queues of almost the entire month packed into 4 days. Thanks a lot, Mangalam, for joining in, and hopefully June turns out to be as musical as you alluded to.